So before I start this video, I just want everyone to say basically that if you're not looking for something that is, well, quite frankly, depressing, really, click off right now, because this video is not going to be fun. Alright? Make your decision. Here we go. Back in December, my grandma fell, and through that fall, it basically came out that through some, I guess, detective work, if you will, that for the past 3 years, my grandpa had been hiding a lot of things from us when it comes to how well she was actually doing, especially when it came to the, well, in-house environment, if you will. And I'll spare you the details, but it wasn't great. Turned out that she had been kind of having some mild things of dementia for a little while, but nothing too serious. It became to such a point where she actually had to go into a home, which she then did. Since that time, obviously, things have gotten worse and worse and worse. To now reaching a point basically where she is very much suffering from dementia, and it is a very weird disease. So one moment she remembers literally everything, and the next moment she is like wondering if it's even dark or light outside. Now obviously it doesn't get help by the fact that she doesn't actually see or hear all that well, or can walk all that well, because you know, the woman is nearing 89 years old. So you know, she isn't exactly the youngest she's been, so that's kind of like natural. But the combination of that, and also the fact that mentally she ain't doing well, and then on top of that, the dementia, it's been a roller coaster ride to say the least. And the main reason why I'm really making this video is to kind of like let everyone know what is on my mind, really. And for some reason, I just kind of felt like making this. Maybe it's therapeutic. I'm not even sure if I'm uploading this, but I just felt like rambling into a microphone about it so that I don't have to do it on stream, because I don't really want to make streams to just only be about this. And just because you know about it, I'd appreciate it that everyone always asks about it, because it obviously brings up some very mixed emotions, if you will. Some days when you visit her, they're fine. Other days when you visit her, it is just horrendous. It's a very like the way that I think about it, in a way, it's a light switch where it sometimes it just feels like the light switch for dementia is turned on, and then a few seconds later it's turned off, and then it's turned on again. And the same thing kind of goes with her moods and the crying, and they just yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, she also seems to have like given up basically as well. And yeah, like basically this Monday, like, or well, I guess this Monday where I'm recording it on, and the Monday before that I went, and I guess last week before last week I visited her like a few weeks before that, like in June. And the difference between then and last week was fucking huge. Like, it was just like, wow. Like, it was genuinely shocking. Like, it goes quick. Like, at the start, it was kind of like she would recognize you and stuff like that. But even at this point, like, I'm not even sure if she does recognize me. And dementia is such a weird disease where at one point she thinks that I'm, you know, when I walk in, she thought that I was my uncle. And then the man who was sitting next to her, she thought it was my grandpa. But my grandpa was actually visiting the staff to kind of let them know, like, hey, we're here, we're gonna go, like, you know, take her away for like an hour or two, and, you know, come pick her up again at that time. But then she would just, I don't know, like, she tells stories of having done certain things, and like seeing people that have passed, and asking about people who have been passed for like 10 years. And it's a really weird disease, and I genuinely hope that none of you have to ever experience that. It is horrible. Like, it is genuinely horrible. And I would, like, the main thing is just it's really a mind fuck to sit next to someone who you know has been there all your life. Like, I'm turning 29 on the 29th of January, or not January, July. I don't have dementia myself. I can, you know, I just misspoke. I know my birthday still. But like, she has no idea what day it is, what time it is. Like, she keeps calling stuff evenings, and like telling stories about how apparently when she was sitting like in like the general area where everyone else is, like that she was going to, since she was at a restaurant earlier, and like there was staff that was, and I guess, like what's the word for that? Like serving her? I don't know. What's the word for that in English again? Bar staff or whatever, I guess. And just serving the drinks and whatever. And it's like, how did you come to that conclusion? You're in like a care home. Where are you getting this idea from? I mean, partly probably because like she can't see all that well, but like it just it's so weird. And the thing that fucks me up as well is the fact that most of the family, or well, I say most of the family, I mean mostly my mom and my grandpa, because like my grandpa obviously of age, my mom in basically like the care field, you know, hospital, that sort of shit. And they're kind of like, yeah, it's probably better for her to go. And I cannot quite comprehend that feeling, because I'm just like, no. But at the same time, it's also like you're constantly sitting there looking on your phone, waiting for the inevitable call or message to come. And I also just kind of feel like that day is getting closer and closer. At the start, I had that feeling too, because I was like, you know, obviously being put in her home and always being told like, ah, she ain't doing well, she's declining. But now I'm like, yeah, especially when she, like, I don't know if that's true, but it's like a gut feeling that I'm getting, you know? I don't know if you can tell if someone is like in their final days, but I don't know. I can kind of tell, I guess. It's very weird to say that. But like, when someone starts to become like, you know, very thankful and basically saying out loud, I don't know if I'll make it to the end of the month, it's kind of like, oh, especially when you just hear that she's aware of the fact that she's forgetting stuff, and just saying out loud like, it, you know, I don't have it in me anymore, and like I'm quote unquote giving up, and you know, I'll just throw myself into this pool or whatever it is you call, like this lake or anything, and just you know, I'm done. It's weird. But yeah, there's a lot more to say, but I just kind of felt like rambling on, and I guess that's a general idea, I suppose, about it. I'm not trying to purposely hit 8 minutes, by the way. Just seeing how long the recording is going on. I don't make an ad revenue on this anyways. It's on the second channel. But yeah, I guess I kind of wanted to have this video out there for those folks that might wonder about it. Might wonder why I might look a certain way, or like might feel a certain way, or seem like I'm not really there. Yeah, it's one of those things that kind of just lingers in the back of my mind, and some days I'm like, you know, chilling, and obviously during stream I just try to have a good time with it, and you know, I don't try to think about it too much, because you know, obla di obla da, life goes on. But yeah, I think I'll just end it here, I suppose. Thanks everyone for watching my stuff, and you know, giving me a reason to keep streaming and making videos, because if it wasn't for that, I'd probably just be very, very miserable. Thanks for listening, and like I said again, just don't bring it up on stream and stuff. You're fine asking how I am. I will likely give you a bullshit answer, but don't try to just be like, hey, how's grandma? Just don't. Thanks. Kisses and hugs and all that.